Good evening, everyone. I am Chris, and it's time for another reaction video tonight. The Lord of the Rings content's actually been coming pretty thick and fast, and I love talking about Middle-earth. However, unfortunately, all good things have to come to an end because we're here at talking about the Rings of Power, which I guess vaguely is Lord of the Rings related. Okay, like I've got a lot of history with the Rings of Power. Between my old channel to this channel, this is kind of the whole thing that sparked the creation of my own channel on here. So it's kind of like an anniversary event, I guess. You know, the Rings of Power is back for another season. We knew it was coming. Amazon have signed I think it was like at least a 5-season deal. Whether they actually make 5 seasons of this shit, we'll find out. But season 1 was an experience. The show itself is abysmal in almost every single sense of the word, from the costumes, the writing, the acting. You know, I don't blame the actors necessarily. You know, that's how they've been directed to act, and you know they've got to work with whatever's on the page. But it was an absolute terrible effort at adapting anything Tolkien related, especially considering they've got more or less, you know, the majority of the Second Age they could work with. But what was great, the show wasn't great. The show was everything that's wrong with current media at the moment. However, talking about it, reviewing it, chatting with you guys week to week, and of course collaborating with everything in Middle-earth was amazing, and I loved it. So fingers crossed. I have been in contact with him, and we've got some plans, not just for season 2, but for some other videos in the lead up to it as well, including hopefully one video this week. So I will let you guys know about that. But I'm gonna do a bit more of a preamble, I guess, before jumping into the reaction. So this is going to be a reaction to the new trailer that came out earlier today. Official teaser trailer, I think it is, for season 2. I didn't even realise this thing was coming out. It was actually everything in Middle-earth that tipped me off to this last night and said, by the way, dude, the trailer releases tomorrow. So I'm glad that he's on the ball more than me, because I guess I just chosen to forget this series. Just let it die in the ether. And has it been 2 years? Has it been 2 years since the previous season? Or was it last year? I actually don't know. I should check this out. When did season 1 of this shit come out? The Rings of Power debuted. Does it say? Yeah, 2022, October of 2022. So just under 2 years ago, and what a year that was. So yeah, we're here at season 2. So all I know about this so far is that apparently it's going to focus on some new locations. One they're really bigging up this year is Rune. So I mean, we get to see a new location that we haven't really seen all that much of, if at all, really, in the film versions and all the other adaptations that we've seen so far. And Halbrand is now an elf. I guess they're kind of trying to make him a little bit more like Anatar, the Lord of Gifts, even though he was just an Aragorn kind of dude in the previous season, I guess. So we'll hang about. We'll give it like another minute or so before I jump in, because I want people to try and see the reaction live if they can. So hopefully we have some people jumping in, because this will be a very lonely experience if I have to react to this by myself. I feel like I kind of mentioned this during season 1 when we were doing the weekly reviews for it, that it was almost like a therapy session. It was almost just sort of getting out everything that was wrong about this show. One thing I will share screen in just a second when we do the trailer reaction is the ratio that this has already got, and you know, this gives me hope for the viewership, at least, and the reactions that are likely to come out of this. So currently, as of this video, it's sitting at 35,000 thumbs up and 92,000 thumbs down. This video has been out for 5 hours and has already been ratioed into oblivion. So I can only imagine that it's going to continue to do that over the ensuing days, weeks, and months in the lead up to this show. I think this is coming out in August, if I remember rightly, so I've got a few months of respite just, you know, at the minute, but we'll see. Yeah, so before we begin, I guess if you guys want to let me know your thoughts on season 1, I think almost everyone was pretty much unanimous. it's, you know, most of it's like a bad dream right now, and a lot of it just kind of comes back to me in images. I was messaging everything in Middle Earth, and I was saying, like, do you remember that scene in season 1 towards the end where Galadriel and Sauron are literally just screaming in each other's faces? I was like, you know, all flashes of this. I remember the dwarf saying, just give me the meat and give it to me raw. I remember Mithril having some kind of backstory where an elf was fighting a Balrog, and the fucking magic of the elf and the fire whip of the Balrog made a tree or something, and Mithril was created. Mithril is somehow tied into the life support of the elves. Obviously you've got Galadriel, warrior princess lady, who's amazing, you know, to spur the troops on. Her amazing advice is to stab, twist, and gut, which is exactly what is going to be done to Tolkien's legacy with this show. I'd like to say maybe the showrunners have learnt from their mistakes, but when every single thing about your previous series was wrong, everything, and you know, in the lead up, the behind the scenes and interviews, they clearly had contempt for Tolkien and the works of Tolkien that he created, and the hubris that they had, that they were going to write the book that Tolkien never did. They were going to put their own material into it, and obviously modern agendas creeping into it too. Basically everything that Peter Jackson didn't do. You know, he specifically said, I reference this quite a lot, that there's in one of the behind the scenes interviews on the appendices for the Fellowship of the Ring, I believe it is, Peter Jackson says that he didn't want to bring his own baggage, you know, modern day baggage into it. He just wanted to tell the message of Tolkien and be as close to the source material as possible. Far cry from not just the Rings of Power, but most modern, you know, media of today is constantly very, you know, ticking all these boxes and everything like that. So I thought maybe they'd learn from that and downplay the whole Galadriel warrior princess lady person woman. And from all the screenshots that I've seen, apparently there's a behind the scenes video that's been released alongside this trailer too. And, you know, she's on horseback with a bow and arrow and looking like a badass and, you know, charging into battle again. Galadriel took a pyroclastic flow from a volcano to the face. Mount Doom, a Rodruin, was created apparently by old man, oh god, what was his name? Waldrig, with a broken sword, who put the sword in a thing and turned it like a key, which all the orcs had like tunneled underground, and there was like an underwater system, or was it like underneath the river or something, and the river flowed into a Rodruin, which caused it to explode and turn the land into Mordor. But somehow Galadriel just stood in the face and just like took the pyroclastic flow to the face, and she was fine. She wasn't burnt. She jumped in the waters of the Sundering Seas and intended to swim back to the mainland, which is impossible. So many things. And then, Christ, that's not even mentioning Numenor and the costumes on Numenor and Ar-Pharazôn and Isildur and Elendil. All of that stuff. Christ almighty. There's a lot to unpack. So I'm ready to jump into the season 2 reaction video if all you guys are. It says we've got 2 viewers at the moment, so sound off in the comments. Let's get going. I just want to make sure that there's someone there who's actually watching it with me. I'm gonna just move my screen a little bit around now because I can bring the video up on screen. So I'm gonna move myself to the side like so. If I move myself there, maybe a little bit bigger than that. Oh god, we've got Galadriel's face on the stream. Oh god, I don't want to subject you guys to that. Hang on, let me do something about that. There we go. And then through the power of technology, oh no, that is the thumbnail. There we go, there we go. So I'm gonna shrink this down a little bit maybe. Let me know at home what's like a good ratio for you guys to see with like me compared to the trailer. If I sort of move myself there, am I too small now? Do you want me kind of like here? Yeah, I'm fairly new to this. As you can see, this is a different streaming service from what I used to do all my live streamings on. So yeah, hopefully, right, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that screen right there. So if that looks good to you guys at home, let me know. And yeah, we'll give it like another minute or so, and then we're going to watch this trailer together. Or we could just watch it now. You know what? Let's watch it now, because this is going to be a pretty long stream, I think. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I intend to sort of go through the video bit by bit. And I might watch the behind-the-scenes video too. So I guess with all that being said, shall we jump into this? Hopefully you guys can see the video okay. Let's go for it. Here we go.
Ancient and powerful
Has returned. Oh, we've got Venom, apparently. What the fuck is that? Oh, here we go. Don't worry, Galadriel's got it. She can just, you know, like the ice troll or whatever it was called. She can handle it herself. The fuck is that? Okay, Orcs on the march. Celebrimbor, who didn't know what an alloy was last season.
I think he's been here among us all along.
Well, yeah, we know that. It was Halbrand. We know that he's been around you this whole time. So that's Anatar, Lord of Gifts now, I guess, Sauron. The fucking Kraken? What was that? I'm guessing that's the Balrog kicking off in Khazad-dûm. Darkness will bind them. Oh, here we go. Don't try and use Tolkien's words in this. Oh, look at that elf guy. He's so cool. Oh, we got eagles. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, there's going to be a big battle this season. Of course he's Sauron, because he's still Halbrand. Like, he's still Halbrand in the face. So he just... Oh, here we go. August... August 29th. So Sauron just creates an entire new fucking landscape just like that with magical powers. I know he's like super powerful. I don't think he's that powerful. I feel like converting the geography of a fucking province in Middle-earth is not instantaneous unless you're one of the Ainur. It takes a long time. You can't just click his fingers and be like Elsa from fucking Frozen and turn everything into a frozen waste. Oh, we got a lot to unpack. This looks fucking terrible. I'm sure some people, those poor unfortunate souls that actually liked season 1, you know, they're going to get taken in with the name. Oh, it's more Lord of the Rings, and like, you know, they just lap anything up that's got the Lord of the Rings name thrust upon it. And they're going to get taken in with the visuals, maybe, and already the stuff that the showrunners, sorry, have been pushing, and the very, very little publicity this show's already had. All they've really mentioned is that, oh, you just wait for it, there's going to be 2 episodes that are just one big battle scene. Like, you know, the spectacle of it, just, oh, wait till you see this battle scene, it takes up 2 episodes of an 8-episode season, and, you know, a quarter of that is dedicated to a single battle. And, you know, the last series that did that was Game of Thrones season 8, where it was just like, oh, the Battle of Winterfell, you know, this is going to be bigger than fucking Helm's Deep. This is going to be bigger than anything you've ever seen before. This is going to be the best thing ever. And it was absolutely atrocious. You need good writing to go along with a good battle, and just having a battle that's, I don't know how long it's going to be, an hour and a half, 2 hours long, doesn't a good series make. Doesn't, you know, it's either going to get really exhausting, and if the show doesn't call for something to be 2 hours long, well, it's just dragging its feet with spectacle. It's jangling keys in front of you, essentially. But there's got to be some good writing to back that up. And already, from the looks of this, it doesn't look like we're going to get that either. So let's go back through it bit by bit, and we'll kind of break it down. So this was a shot at the end of season 1, wasn't it? This was at the finale, where Halbrand, in the newly converted fucking Mordor, all Waldrig had to do was stick a sword in a thing, turn it like a key, and boom, Mordor's created. That's it, done. And you know, the plains of Gorgoroth and everything are just instantly handed you there. Oh, and you had that like fucking text thing, didn't you? It was what was it? Not the Greenlands or the Grasslands. What was it? The Southlands, wasn't it? It was the Southlands. And the text like burned into ash and melted away, and Mordor sprung up. It was so fucking cliche. It was awful, absolutely awful. But anyway, so this is just a carryover from the final shot of the last season. So let's go through it again, and we'll have a look at the dialogue a little bit more. Oh, great, that's a good sign.
Ancient and powerful has returned.
An evil, ancient, and powerful has returned. Okay, well, this is the dwarf talking about it. First off, you know, you've got the dwarven style architecture in the background, and that does look, you know, like fresh out of the Hobbit or something like that. You know, it's kind of that green stone with the same kind of architecture. You know, you look at that and you go, that's dwarven design. So fair play to the background. And this character right here, whilst not incredibly well written by any stretch of the imagination, was probably my favorite character from season 1, and that is very, very slim praise, but that is the only thing that I liked, or tolerated at least. I didn't, you know, but if I had to pick one thing, it would be his character. As I said, I don't blame any of the actors in this show at all. It's the material they got, but he's clearly talking about the Balrog here. He's not talking about Sauron at this point. He's so totally removed from all of that. I know we'll be gearing up to the point where Sauron, I mean, if they stick to the source material, shit, I don't know. We'll be getting to the point where Sauron creates the Dwarven Rings of Power, but it's very unlikely he's talking about an ancient evil. It's just, you know, the editing of the trailer, it's using Sauron and it's trying to create that connection between the two, but it is referring to the Balrog. We saw the Balrog last time, who got awoken by... was it a leaf? I feel like a leaf blew down into, like, the chasms, and that pissed the Balrog off. So, yeah, completely different to the timeline of when the Balrog should be kicking off. But here we go. You know, they've messed with the timeline already. I mean, Peter Jackson kind of messed with the timeline anyway, but this is really, really fucking taking liberties with the timeline and when events should happen and mashing things together when they really don't need to. You've got 5 seasons of this shit. Just pace it out. You know, but I feel like he's talking about the Balrog here. So let me just back it up a little bit.
Has returned.
This fucking thing. What the actual fresh hell is that? So let's back this up a little bit. So we've got this. The only way that I can describe it, because it looks like the symbiote. It looks like Spider-Man 2 when the meteor hits, and yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think what this could be. You know, I'm thinking of stuff like, it's not Ungoliant or anything like that. You know, it's just some like dark evil substance, like kind of tentacles and tendrils. It is in a crater of some kind, so part of me thinks, is this like another meteor thing that lands? You know, because Gandalf apparently entered Middle Earth by meteor from space. Because you know, like the fucking Transformers from the first Michael Bay movie, apparently that's how all the Astari landed. So well, it's not an Astari. This like a shape-shifting thing. I don't know what the fuck this thing is. I mean, we see like a tentacled Kraken monster later, but that's in the waters, so no idea. Take your pick what this is. Is it a nameless thing? You know, in the book, the Watcher in the Water is called one of the nameless things of Moria. Could this be a nameless thing? Shit, I don't know. We'll come back to this. Put a pin in this. I want to hear what you guys think this is. I mean, I could just like... I have no idea what that is. So is this in the same... Is this connected at all? No. So this looks like a totally different location to me. Yeah, there's kind of rocks here. And it's obviously in darkness. But this next shot, it's very foggy. We can see... Are these meant to be the ring wraiths? If we look in the background, I don't know if you guys can see this. You've got sort of piercing eyes. There's one directly in the middle. I wish you could see my cursor. You can kind of see the faint glint of blue eyes sort of above, I think, Elrond and Galadriel. And then there's one to the far right of the screen. That guy on the right really doesn't look like he's getting ready, does he? He's just kind of stood there looking really bored. Are these sort of they're in the shapes of men, so they're humanoid. I don't know if these are going to be the ring wraiths or if these are some kind of like barrow wights or something maybe. I've heard rumors that Tom Bombadil is going to be in this series, so it's great to see that we're going to get another Tolkien character completely bastardized potentially. But yeah, it's very foggy. It looks like fog on the Barrow Downs, maybe. And, these are kind of wights. These are the forms of men and sort of evil spirits that we're seeing. So it could be that. They're kind of just stood there. That's two. They're very ghostly. I'm trying to see if there's any more. Yeah, so I can't really see any more. It's just, oh yeah, if I pause it there, you can kind of see forms of them. I think these are some kind of wights, or barrow wights or something. I don't think these are going to be the Nazgul. We are probably going to have to get to that point, but first, if they stick to the lore at least, we need to see 9 kings of men be given these rings and then fall to the corruption, and we haven't seen that yet. So yeah, I think these are just going to be ghostly ghosts, to be honest. Yeah, so this is someone summoning all of these butterflies, and if I remember rightly, this was something to do with the it wasn't those witch ladies, was it, from season 1? The one, like the kind of androgynous looking woman person with the buzz cut, and everyone initially thought that was Sauron when the picture was first released, and it turns out it was... Were they meant to be ring wraiths? Because when they were being beaten back, didn't they turn into kind of like the spectral wraith versions of the ring wraiths like they do at Weathertop? It was very strange. I don't know what those were supposed to be. Because apparently they're not... Well, they can't be the 9. They can't be the ring wraiths. Because as I just said, they have to be given to 9 kings of men. And you know damn well for a fact they ain't all going to be 9 men. They're going to change that shit. They're going to... one's going to be a woman. One's going to be this. One's going to be that. Whatever. They're going to change that shit. 100%. We'll bet money on the fact that they will change that shit. So yeah, they were kind of like wizards, but they weren't wizards because there's only 5 Astari, but they... possessed magic, and then, as I say, they kind of turn into ring wraiths. I don't even know what the fuck those witch ladies were meant to be in the previous season, and I can't remember what their fate was. As far as I know, they were all beaten back, but so these are all moths flying around, so I'm thinking, have they returned? Are these the same kind of people? I mean, you get the kind of like an evil sense of these. Some kind of blood magic going on here. You can see the blood on the palms, almost like stigmata, and a bunch of moths flying around. Yeah, so take your bets what this is. I mean, it's magic of some kind, of course it is. So I'm going to say it's one of those witch ladies or some kind of variation of that, maybe. Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck I'm meant to be looking at here. But this looks like it's going to be rune of some kind. It looks very almost Egyptian, like the Mummy or Indiana Jones kind of style that we've got going on here. The pillars and everything. This just screams to me something like Tutankhamun's tomb. So I'm thinking maybe this could be rune. It looks like a fairly exotic location, like pestilence or something. Let's just hear the dialogue over here. Yeah, it worms his way inside your mind. We've got roots growing. Again, this could be like magical people lady. Oh, hang on. There's a... Is that like a face? If you look at the top right of the screen, you've got that bluey green kind of shimmer in the top right, yeah? If you look directly to the left of that, and this could be me just seeing this, it could be just like nothing in the background, but it almost looks like a face. Do you guys see what I'm looking at? Again, I wish I could bring my cursor up on the screen so you could see it. But yeah, so the top right of the corner where you've got that sort of bluey glow, directly to the left of that, it almost looks like some kind of face. Again, I could be reading too much into that. So we've got a character here. When I pause it, I actually can't make out who that is. But it looks like they're potentially summoning it because, they're not running away. part of me thought, are these like Huorns or something? Are these the trees coming alive and they're pissed off? But it does just look like some evil magic, just, you know, some kind of earthbender, I guess. Yep, just orcs on the march. Not really much else to say about that, really. Just orcs are marching. So we've got Celebrimbor, the world's Middle-earth's greatest smith right here. And he didn't even know what an alloy was, which is fantastic. Also looks old as fuck. Like, this is not... I'm sorry, this is just not Celebrimbor at all. This is just... It's all wrong. But this is so that's like a fairly interesting shot right there. You can see a silhouette. I thought, you know, maybe he's just looking into a forge or something, but that's probably like a good shot right there. And, you know, that's done to mimic the Eye of Sauron iconography right there. You know, you got the pupil in the middle and the fire around it. So this could be Halbrand / Sauron / Anatar returning. You kind of got that godly glow around it.
He's been here among us all along.
Says, I think he's been here among us all along, and it's, well, if they are indeed referring to Sauron there / Halbrand, isn't that already established? That was the whole essence of season 1, wasn't it? That Halbrand was a dude that we all knew was Sauron right from episode 1, but they kept playing it up like it was a big deal, like a big twist. And then at the end, it's just like, oh yeah, that guy that's always been around us, yeah, it turns out he was Sauron. So this lady crying and getting really scared that, oh god, he's always been around us. Again, if they are talking about Sauron, then it's like, yeah, did you not watch season 1? I envy her. If she didn't watch season 1, I wish I was in that position, because fuck me. But yeah, this is new edgy Halbrand. He's the edgelord. He is the edgelord of gifts, Anatar, I guess. They're probably not going to call him Anatar because, you know, that would be too accurate to the source material. And far be it for Rings of Power to be accurate to the source material or any of Tolkien's writings. But yeah, he's got a makeover. He's got long hair now. He's going for like the elven look. Fortunately, he didn't change his face. So if he's done this for a disguise, which is the whole essence of Anatar, is that he is meant to appear in fair form, angelic form, and curry favour with the elves, but they've already fucked that storyline basically, and this is just Halbrand in a wig. It is literally Halbrand in a wig. So if this guy approaches the elves and goes like, hey guys, trust me, I'm cool and angelic and stuff, they're going to be like, no you're not, you're Halbrand in a wig, because he hasn't changed his face. This would be the one time where you could recast Sauron, because he is a shapeshifter. You could do it and you could have him look totally different. But they kept it with the same actor, and I'm just a bit confused why he's gone with a kind of disguise, but hasn't gone all the way and changed his, you know, his guise, his face, which is the whole essence of a disguise, isn't it? I'm trying to see whereabouts he is. This kind of looks like, I want to say Numenor. Is this Numenorian architecture? Trying to see what's going on. Are people kind of running around in the background? Yeah, people are sort of scattering. We've got more amusing expressions of Galadriel. There's got to be a good one here. There has to be, because you remember the last time. Do you remember her expression last time she rode a horse in season 1? So I'm trying to get a good one. Oh, there you go. There's a good one. Oh, look at those evil eyebrows. Look how angry and edgy Galadriel is. Here's one. Someone underwater. Not sure. Have we seen this character before? I actually can't tell who this is. And then that thing. Now, I guess I can't be mad because there are underwater creatures in Middle-earth. You can see them on the map around the Sundering Sea. Of course, you've got things like the Nameless Things, the Watcher in the Water, and things like that. But I don't believe there's been Krakens. Maybe there's an excerpt somewhere in the Unfinished Tales or the Nature of Middle-earth or something like that that alludes to giant underwater Kraken creatures. But, yeah. We have our first comment of the night. Thank you very much, Durthang1000. Durthang says, Series 1 was a dumpster fire. I'm still going into it with a positive attitude. Just pretend it's not Tolkien. Not difficult as it's completely different from the lore and timelines from the book. I mean, you can go in with a positive attitude, but I said this last time as well, that even if you go, I'm not reviewing this, I'm not critiquing this from a Middle-earth perspective or a Tolkien perspective, and I'm just taking it for some of its parts as a fantasy show, it was fucking abysmal. Like, the acting wasn't great, the writing was totally uninspired and just downright fucking bad. The effects weren't great. The conceptual design, the fact that they shot it in New Zealand, but they didn't showcase any of its beauty, really. It felt very cheap, despite it being one of the most expensive shows ever made. Like, it's just awful. Like, the costumes and everything, the look of everything, the characterization, it was all just so bad. So even as just a fantasy show, a standalone fantasy show, it was fucking awful. So I don't see how anyone can go into this one with a positive attitude, because that's what we're up against, you know? That's what we're coming hot off the heels of. What's really funny as well is, and I haven't seen season 1 of this, the House of the Dragon, the Game of Thrones spin-off, so the other rival fantasy series, they dropped their trailer like a couple of hours ago. So, you know, no one's going to give a shit about Rings of Power, and HBO are just trolling Amazon and just put out there. I thought that was quite funny. So, yeah. But yeah, we've got a Kraken monster, and we've got some kind of, is this like a sacrifice or something? It looks like she's tied to a chain. Is she just a deep sea diver? But it looks like she's about to get eaten. So this could be some kind of sacrifice, but I don't know. Like, what is this? What am I looking at? What is this meant to be?
Every soul.
This is Disa. This is Durin's. Is it Durin? I can't remember what his name was. Prince Durin. This was his wife. Yeah. Not lore accurate at all, but hey, let's just crack on.
Well, the Middle Earth is in peril.
It looks like some kind of cave in here. So this is King Durin, right? I lose track of the Durins. Whoever the king of the fucking dwarves was in Khazad-dûm during this. As I say, they've played around with the timeline, so I don't even know who it's meant to be. Durthang says the beauty of New Zealand was ruined by Galadriel's face on the horse. Well, what's interesting about this series as well is that it's not shot in New Zealand. This is going to be the first one to be shot in the UK, so it's very different, because live action wise, at least, that's kind of what we know. We know New Zealand to be Middle Earth, and that's absolutely what we're going to get with The Hunt for Gollum. I can guarantee. You know, it's very important for them to shoot it in New Zealand. It's massive for their tourism industry, and it kind of, I won't say put New Zealand on the map, but it was a huge deal for not just, you know, the movie industry, but as a country as a whole. It was like 10% of the entire population of New Zealand showed up to the premiere of Return of the King, which is incredible. And then the Hobbit trilogy, there was a big fight to keep it filming in New Zealand. And Rings of Power Season 1 shot in New Zealand. They didn't showcase it very well, but it was shot there. But this is the first one that's shot in the UK. So on the one hand, it's cool because we might get to see, you know, let's see what the UK has to offer. Let's see if it still feels like Middle-earth, despite the fact that it's shot in a totally different country. So it has potential for new locations and new places that we can showcase, but also it feels like we've left Middle-earth now. We're not in Middle-earth. It doesn't feel right, you know? So, but yeah, it looks like we've got some kind of cave in here. We see things happening earlier where, you know, we'll see it later in the trailer where things are breaking off, and there's kind of like avalanches and brickwork and stonework are like falling off, and there's probably going to be some kind of cave in. It's the Balrog that's probably shaking the mountain, and they're going to have like loads of these cave in events, and it's going to trap the king, and there's going to be some kind of big rescue mission, I imagine. Like here, oh yeah, literally the next shot. So we've got these giant boulders just falling, and I think it's probably going to be from the Balrog is awakening. What have we got here? Let's just back it up a second. So this is Elendil, and it looks like some kind of angry mob. So I'm wondering if this is something to do with Ar-Pharazôn and, you know, the leader of the people, and Elendil's a member of the faithful, and we could be seeing that come into it. Again, I'm coming into it as a Lord of the Rings fan who appreciates the lore, and I don't think they're probably going to do that. The costumes still look as bad as ever, so it's nice to see that. Yeah, so he's reaching for someone, so I don't know if it's something to do with Isildur, perhaps. Or it could be a human sacrifice thing. But it looks like general unrest from the people of Numenor, whatever that's going to be. We've got Galadriel here with another wonderful expression on her face. This is kind of my expression when I saw that Rings of Power Season 2 trailer was up today. Almost exactly my reaction, actually. Everything's bright red. Is this going to be some kind of like dream? It looks like an Italian horror movie. Yeah, everything's red. Possibly a dream sequence of some kind. So here we got an orc licking the knife, clearly harping on iconography. You might not have noticed it, but your brain did, kind of thing. Lurtz licking the knife from Fellowship of the Ring. Whoa, dropped my microphone there. Yeah, just looks, you know, just repeating shit. We had entire lines of dialogue lifted from the Peter Jackson films that time. Now, I'm not saying an orc can't lick a knife, but I'm just saying that the one time that we saw an orc lick a knife was Lurtz in the extended edition of Fellowship of the Ring, and it's just kind of, yeah, whatever. But, you know, I speak as I find. It's nice to see actors in makeup as orcs and not the CGI ones like we had in The Hobbit, so it's nice that they're keeping the prosthetics going and everything like that, so I'll give them props for that. This trebuchet, this orc trebuchet in the background looks like it's very practical as well, so that's good. That's good stuff. Practical stuff always trumps... I would say always trumps CGI. That's the wrong thing to say, especially with Lord of the Rings, because Lord of the Rings proved the perfect marriage of CGI and practical. But what I'm saying is if it can be done practical and it looks good practical, then go with that. And yeah, this is good stuff. Darkness will bind them. Yeah, we've got the three rings, which were forged. Oh no, he's got more rings. Oh fuck. They need to acquire more. He's the most powerful of elves because he's got more rings, clearly. Yeah. I found it very quick that, you know, they just made the 3 elven rings at the end of Season 1. I was like, oh, okay, we've got 5 seasons of the Ring of Power. Like, do you want to chill out? Do you want to pace it out a little bit? But, yeah, Elven Province. So we got this here. Potentially the Dwarven Ring of Power, or one of. So, if I pause it here, if you look at the very bottom of the frame, it looks like there's a couple of different rings. So, this could be one of them. This could be a selection that are sort of offered before him, and then through the Ring of Power, like the Balrog could be awakened or something like that. Really, I think the only thing with the Dwarven rings is that dwarves by nature are quite clinging and covetous and enjoy shiny things and sparkly things, and the Rings of Power just kind of magnifies that tenfold and just makes them even more, you know, the dragon sickness kind of thing, and also attracts dragons, which eventually leads to their downfall. Dragons were a creation of Morgoth, so ultimately the Rings of Power lead to the dwarves' destruction that way. It doesn't necessarily corrupt them in the same sense of the 9 Rings of Power did to mortal men and turn them into wraiths. It just makes them very gripping and, you know, vengeful, and amplifies the characteristics that the dwarves already have, I guess. And you could make an argument that that's what all the Rings of Power do. They just kind of exaggerate the characteristics that the person already has, and we see that in the book as well, where you see people's different ideas of what they would do if they possessed the One Ring. Reading through Fellowship, there's a moment where Boromir talks about if he had the ring, he would build walls and stronger armies, and build armies to, you know, fight against Mordor and be a king, be a leader amongst all these men and all these grandiose ideals that he has. And then you have Sam later on in the book that says that he would be a gardener and he would turn the world into a giant garden. He's basically like Poison Ivy from Batman and Robin. Just wants to cover the world in green. And it's like, whoa, slow down now, Sam. You know, chill out. So, yeah. It's just that. A tangent about the rings anyway. But yeah, this could be one of the rings of power right here. We've got this elf guy doing some cool flippy shit, because that's what all elves have to do. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, like a windmill spin. Bow and arrow. This is a Isildur, right? This is a Isildur in the background right here. So I actually can't remember what happened to Isildur in the previous series, but I'm pretty sure there in the background that guy is a Isildur. I could be wrong. It just looks like some... Is it just someone in armor that they're fighting? Oh, hang on. Oh, wait, no, it could be... what was the name of the kid? It wasn't Isildur. What was the name of that fucking kid? Is that the mom? I can't remember her name. But village lady person who was in the battle. Didn't she get poisoned or something? It looks like she's poking her head out the side of the wagon, and then that's her son in front. Yeah, because this guy kind of fell in love with her, didn't he? Because, you know, we've got to have another elf-human, romance story again. Because we've always got to have one of them in there, apparently. So, yeah, it looks like these are, like, brigands or something, or ruffians on the road, and, yeah, he's protecting them, perhaps. Numenor. The eagle flying in. So this, you know, I got a little bit of a kick out of this. I do like the eagles. I'm partial to Manway's eagles. The heralds that they are. Will they talk? That's what I want to know. Will they talk? And is this our Pharazôn riding in on an eagle? Is he... Or is he already... Because he's kind of stood there. I actually... I don't know if the eagles would allow someone to ride them like that, who's just like our Pharazôn. So it looks like he's returning. I mean, he's not allowed in the West, you know, he's not allowed in the Undying Lands, so it won't be that, but maybe he's in communication with them somehow, or maybe they communicate with the eagles and the eagles relay the messages back to you know, the West. I don't know, but how it's edited, it looks like he's... I'm trying to see the back. It doesn't look like he's riding it there, but then this shot looks like he's just dismounted or something. And I mean that's a pretty baller shot right there, where he just stood in front of an eagle with the sword. So yeah, this is our Pharazôn rising to power. We're probably going to see this, and the people of Numenor rallying behind him before it all goes to shit. Again, if it does make it to season 5, though, we've got another 3 seasons of this shit, so they might want to pace it out before they get to the destruction of Numenor. This is the kid dude person from the last series. Not much to say about him at all. This guy, I'm assuming, is the recast Benjen Stark. I forget the name of the actor who played him, and I forget the name of the character as well from the last series, but everyone thought he was Sauron. Everyone thought everyone was Sauron. We had the picture of the witch lady, and we thought that was going to be Sauron. Then we had a picture of Benjen Stark, and we were like, I could see him playing Sauron, and he wasn't Sauron. And then there was Halbrand, and we were like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's Sauron. And the actor who played him clearly got out why the getting was good and didn't want to be a part of season 2. Fair play to him. I actually thought he was probably my favourite character alongside the Dwarven Prince in season 1. But they're going with a whole thing. I really hope they're not, but it seems like they're going with a whole thing of, oh, the orcs are the ones who are oppressed, and the orcs are actually the good guys, because, you know, modern sensibilities, and we've got to flip everything on its head and subvert everything in that way. Rather than just have the orcs be the harbingers of doom, basically, and just be inherently evil. It's like, oh no, they're morally grey because they want their own land and they want their place in the world and to stop being persecuted. It's just like, shut the fuck up. It's not that kind of story. And I think, yeah, this is the guy they've got to replace him. Yeah, I really forget the character's name. It's not Anatar. No, not Anatar. That's Sauron. What was his fucking name? Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Any names jumping out to me? No. Apparently Waldrig's back. That's cool. Yeah. No, I'm drawing a blank of what the character's name was. My bad. Anyway, let's carry on. So, he's clearly staging another battle here of some kind. Yeah, probably that 2-episode battle scene that we were looking at. Okay, here we've got Gandalf, but we can't call him Gandalf apparently, so we've got to keep calling him the Stranger. Even though they did that really cringeworthy thing in the last episode of season 1, where he was like, "When in doubt, always follow your nose," and I'm just like, you can't believe you did a thing from the Lord of the Rings movies. Fuck you. But yeah, it's so him and, was it Nori? They've just lifted one of the dwarven characters' names and just given it to a hobbit. Nori are traveling into the Far East for some reason. So are we getting blue wizards? We might get the blue wizards this season. I can't remember if that's been rumoured or not. Which could be cool, We finally get to see the blue wizards on screen. I'm sure they're going to absolutely fucking ruin them into the ground. But there hasn't really been much information given about them. And I like that. There's that element of mystery. So on the one hand, I'm down that we're going the potential of seeing the blue wizards if they do something good with them, which we know they won't. But yeah, Deserts of Rune. Here we go. Lap it up. That's the Hobbit right there, isn't it? That's Nori. You can kind of see. I think it is, at least. Yeah, it looks like. Oh, it's the two of them. Didn't both of them go? I can't remember if it was female Frodo and female Sam, wasn't it? I can't remember if both of them decided to go with each other, and both of them are hanging onto the rope there. Here we go. We got cool Galadriel doing awesome shit. A lot of dead bodies on the ground, flaming arrows. It's probably that orc battle. This is Elrond, is it not? I believe. Another cavalry charge. Great, wonderful. Who is this? I should know who this is. Throwing. Let me back that up a bit. Who is? Oh, that's Celebrimbor, right? So is this just Celebrimbor just making more rings? Throwing them into the fire. Anatar. So, okay, so that's Celebrimbor. Would this be a continuation of that previous shot where he was like looking at the Eye of Sauron thing when he was approaching the forge? It kind of looks like a forge, and it, there's a lot of rubble on the floor, so I'm sure him appearing just kind of destroys it all, perhaps. The Elvish Guard. He is Sauron. Yes, we know who he is. Again, what's the point of his disguise as Anatar, Lord of Gifts, if he's not deceiving anyone? They all know who he is. They're all immediately suspicious of him. That's not... He put himself in fair form to fool people. And I think it was Galadriel that said, he almost feels too angelic. He almost feels too nice. He's too nicey and curious about all these things that he's probably up to no good. Whereas this one, he's disguised himself for some reason in appearance that he probably should have had in season 1. And yeah, everyone knows who he is because of course they do, because it's Halbrand in a wig. Okay, is that the same outfit? Yes, so that is still Sauron doing that, yeah, because you've got the gold strip there. And there's an explosion that turns everything to ice, apparently. So, can I... Trying to see where that was. I mean, that could be the Elven Kingdom. And then all of a sudden, we have... the land covered in ice. So where is this then? Is this I was going to say it's like the Hel Caraxe or the Grinding Ice or the land of Angmar, but it would already look like this, and it's not an elven kingdom that's converted. Certainly not like this. Just turns everything into ice. Are these two shots related? Maybe. Do I care? Probably not. He's basically just Elsa from Frozen in this scene. That's all I have to say. And then there you go. Rings of Power. Get hype. Rings of Power. Season 2. August 29th. Mark your calendars. When is August 29th? Let me see. So, yeah. That's that. we'll chat about it a little bit now, and then if you guys are down, I'll probably watch the behind the scenes video as well, just to finish off, because why not? While I'm on stream, I may as well do that too. But yeah, I want to hear what you guys think. So, you know, if you're floating about in the comments, let me know. It'd be good to have a conversation with you guys. Let me just kind of get this a little bit central if I can. A little bit more. That's good enough, I think. That's as close as it's going to get. Oh, Rings of Power. It just feels good to be alive sometimes, doesn't it? Let's see if I can boot up that behind the scenes video. Then it's only 2.5 minutes. It's nothing excessive, but we could watch that too. Again, this one's already been ratioed. I'm going to add to the ratio too. So this has got 3.9k thumbs up and 7.2k thumbs down. Let's have a quick look at what they're going to be doing with this one then. So if I capture the video, yes, that's all good, and I bring that up again there. I'm just going to scoot myself over to the side a little bit more. Lord Oakenshield is back. Oh my god, it's been a long time, my friend. How you doing? One wig to rule them all. Yeah, he's got a hairline going on, hasn't he? And this is speaking from a guy who has got a hairline going on right now. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? But you know what? I'm kind of morbidly curious. Again, like season 1, I'm like, how are they going to fuck this up? Let me see. Like, I want to see how much they're going to fuck this up, because it's hilarious. It's so incompetently bad. And that's what's kind of funny about it. As a continuation of, you know, of Tolkien's legacy, it's absolutely abhorrent, and my stomach turns at what they're doing to that great man's work. But in terms of just watching something that's just pure shit, and you kind of want to see how worse it can get week to week, it's fun. It's fun in that way. Let's just watch this behind the scenes video then. By the way, I don't know what the audio levels were like for that previous trailer, so if you guys have been watching and the audio levels were okay, I've brought the volume down a little bit on the video, but if it's still quite loud compared to my voice, then just let me know. Lord Oakenshield says, I'm fine. Look at the comments. Most of them are hilarious. Oh, the actual comments for the video. Yeah, I will go back and check those in just a second. I'll check the ones for this one. I guess I can look at them ahead of time. The orcs not being CGI is still the best decision this show made. Well, that's just what I mentioned, right, in the previous video. Look how happy Sauron is. Builds me an army worthy of Mordor. Can't wait to hear the new music of Bear McCreary. Bear McCreary is insanely good. Exactly, this kind of behind the scenes. Let's watch it, and then, you know, we can look at the comments afterwards to see what people are saying. So this is the behind the scenes video.
This season, Galadriel's being driven more by a bigger purpose.
Right.
She's once again becoming connected with Middle Earth and with all the people in it.
Is she's going to be girl boss still? Girl boss Galadriel? Just vacuous shit. You know, just saying like, oh, she's going to be more connected to Middle Earth. Oh, fuck off.
That's making her quest more important, since Sauron is building his strength.
Right, okay. Sure.
We are in Mordor. One of the exciting things about this...
Can we just look at that? Sauron. Charlie Vickers is Sauron. Look at that picture. Look at that fucking picture. Look at that and say, oh yeah, that's Sauron. That get over yourselves. Oh, look how scary he looks. Look at scary Sauron. Yeah.
One of the exciting things about this year is we're going to get to see Sauron out in the open, making everything happen.
Sauron out in the open, making everything happen. Okay, well, you know, all he needed was a Waldrig to create him Mordor. So, you know, you got to thank Waldrig. Credit where credit's due.
We'll be able to watch it all unfold.
I mean, these poor actors are just clutching at anything, aren't they, in these interviews?
During his relationship with his father has gone, and his pride has taken a massive hit.
The darkness did reach him.
Oh yeah, didn't Disa at the end of the last series say something about, I don't know if she said like kill your father, but usurp your father and you'll be the one with the power? Like she sounded like a proper villain at the end.
He's received the biggest blow to his spirit thus far.
Aaron did. What did they just forget to fucking light the scene? I'm sorry. I could.
Did reach him.
I mean, I could make a joke. I could make a joke right there, but you know, if I had have done that on my previous channel, that would have been a fuel to the fire to get me cancelled. But I will let you guys fill in the blanks. Okay, it's all in good fun.
Spirit thus far.
It gets a little darker. The
Oh, that's a Freudian slip. It gets a little darker. Yeah. Yes, it does. Middle Earth certainly gets a little darker, doesn't it?
the chessboard's been set, and I'm seeing the chess.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her character. Aarian. She was the daughter of Elendil, right? Is that what it was? Is that who she was? She's kind of got this confused expression on her face, and that kind of mirrors mine. Yeah, because like Isildur, you meant to have Isildur and an Arian. Did we even have an Arian? I can't even remember if they referred to his brother, or if we just had Isildur. But yeah, he's got a sister now, because of course he has.
The chess pieces move.
The second season, it really feels like the gloves come off.
That's Gil-galad. That's Gil-galad. Oh, High King of the... Sure, okay.
Brace yourself.
Set a watch at every crossing. He must not escape.
I've had an unexpected visitor.
Oh, an unexpected visitor. Unexpected, chuck that in there. I know you could say like, oh, you can't use the word unexpected now, but how he phrased that, you could tell that was meant to try and be a book thing.
Visitor. Who'd have thought a ring could have so much power?
You should name a show after it. The Power of Rings.
Oh, fuck you.
What about Rings of Power?
It's just really exciting to finally be back. I'm just so grateful to be a part of it.
Here we are in new territory.
Oh, John Howe. I'm so sorry. John Howe. John Howe is one of the most loveliest people I've ever met. I met him in, 2019, yeah, because he dated the signature. At the bottom of my Fellowship of the Ring poster right there. And he was absolutely lovely. He really took his time with the signature, and he was drawing something. I literally had about like a 5 or 10 minute conversation with him, and we were talking about Silmarillion, and we were talking about some of Tolkien's, lesser known works and the imagery behind it, and what some of his favorite stuff was, his experience working on the Hobbit films compared to the Lord of the Rings. And I think at the time, yeah, that's when he was gearing up for the Rings of Power, and I knew it was pointless me asking him anything about it, because he'd say, I can't tell you anything about it. But John Howe knows Tolkien like the back of his hand. It is honestly one of the best conversations I've ever had, and I'd love to meet him again. Like I would pay at the table to just have a chat with him again. And in the behind the scenes for The Hobbit, you can tell that he throws little snidey things in there, maybe when they're kind of doing the design for Smaug, and they were on this design for ages and ages, and it was getting closer to the deadline. And then Peter Jackson went, oh yeah, no, actually I don't want Smaug to have 4 legs, let's give him 2 legs. And then John in the behind the scenes goes, well, when Smaug eventually decided how many legs he should have, we came up with an idea. So Christ knows what he feels about this. I mean, it's for the conceptual artist, as I say, like the conceptual design from the architecture of the stuff I've mentioned looks fine. Some of the designs look absolutely shite, like the armor, but that's more like the materials that made for it. But even the look of some of the new armor doesn't look great. And I don't know if that all falls on John Howe's shoulders, or if he's just been like a consultant on these. I don't know how closely he's worked with everyone on this. But it's kind of a swing and a miss on a lot of this. And I don't blame John Howe for it, because my God, that guy is one of the visionaries of Tolkien. Like his artwork is outstanding. He's one of my favorite artists there is.
Here we are in new territory, new places to visit.
I mean, the set is almost too scary to go into.
Oh, there we go. That gave us a bit more of an insight. So these look like egg sacs, or like pods of some kind, aren't they? Or is this literally just like a cave of some kind? Are we gonna get spiders, maybe, or something. I actually can't see. That looks like some kind of like skeleton, doesn't it? That's like hanging from the ceiling, that's wrapped up. So, are these like egg sacs? Is it spiders potentially? I don't know. Oh, here we go. Maybe this. Oh, this is it. This is it. Sorry, yeah. This is the set. Yeah, he's kind of in a web.
Detail that the craftsmen put in there is incredible. You actually get lost when you're here.
There we go, Ben McCreary.
In costume on the set, you're going to discover even more wonderful things to do. You kind of touched on
What's going? What the fuck? Oh, bring out your dwarven wenches right here. What is going on with her face? Look at that. Alas, poor Yorick, I do. Fuck me. What is this? The witches of Macbeth? What is this?
Kind of touched on it and teased on it.
Christ.
In season 1. This time you will see us in all our glory.
Wait, what's she talking about there? Sorry.
You're going to discover even more wonderful things to do.
We kind of touched on it and teased on it in season 1. This time you will see us in all our glory.
I really don't want to see Disa in any more of her glory. Thank you very much. We already got that lovely thigh shot from from the last series. I don't want to see any more of her in her glory. Thank you very much.
There's things that we're doing that are completely new, and you do sort of get plunged straight into the story. It's been a long way. Some bad things might have happened. Some good things may have happened.
Nothing good happened from the show.
There's a lot of danger, a lot of excitement, but we're back in Middle-earth.
Oh, what the fuck was that? Hang on. There you go. What's that? That's is that meant to be like the fucking King of the Dead or something? Well, this is one of the elves and it's in that wood, so I'm assuming this is like the Barrow White kind of thing, right? Because they've got crowns on and they've got chains around their neck, and that's pretty much what the Barrow Whites have. They weren't surrounded by trees, so this isn't the Barrows, but it's the same kind of thing. You've got, you know, they're wearing crowns, and as I say, the chains, and it looks like they've got some rings on, perhaps. Yeah, so I would expect that's what it is there. What is she gathering there? That's oh, there we go. We got another decent thigh shot, everyone. This is what you tuned in for right there. Enjoy it. Is she like holding an Easter egg or something? What's Palantir? It's not the Palantir. I don't know what the fuck that is. It's kind of a glowing blue stone. If I just get back to it again real. It's like a glowing blue stone. So I don't know if this, you know, when you see the King of the Dwarves pick up that ring that's got the glowing blue stone. I don't know if it's something like that, like a kind of Arkenstone kind of situation, where it's this really like precious element they found and that's eventually fashioned into the ring. And of course you're going to end on a girl boss moment there with Galadriel in slow motion with a bow and arrow looking like Brave because she's so cool and she's got that stern fucking expression on her face that was just glued on her face the entire way through. And there you go, Rings of Power. Again, friendly reminder, August 29th. So August... That wasn't me, by the way. Someone's drilling next door. August 29th is a Friday. Okay, so I mean, if that's when it does go up and, you know, I have access to it and I can watch it, that's, I guess, when the reviews will be, Friday night. So if that sounds good for you guys, we can absolutely do that. So that pretty much does it for the reaction, really. I think I've said everything I need to say during the actual video itself. So let me move myself back to the center real quick, and we'll probably just do like a bit of a round off. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. Are you kind of in the same boat as me? I'm very critical on this, and I feel like I have cause to be because Season 1 was absolutely atrocious, and this just looks like it's more of the same. It really does. I haven't seen a change in anything, and it's an absolute bastardization of Tolkien's work. and yeah, I'm not okay with that. What I think is going to be very interesting though moving forward over the next couple of years, and I mean if they do decide to go as far as a season 3 and a season 4 and a season 5, is the fact that Warner Brothers now are competing with Amazon and bringing out their own shit. I mean, we've got the War of the Rohirrim this year in December, so going for the big December release. They've slapped the Lord of the Rings name on that too. When trailers come out for that, of course, I'll do a trailer reaction. I'm actually kind of cautiously optimistic for that anime film. I think that could be really interesting. And then the recently announced Hunt for Gollum movie, which I'm not as excited for, but it's just funny that you're going to have these two rival things, and Warner Brothers clearly wins because, you know, they come out and said, oh yeah, you know, New Zealand probably, we've got Peter Jackson, we've got Fran Walsh and Philippa Boyens, we've got Andy Serkis coming back, we've got all these people coming back working on this thing, and we're back into Middle Earth, whereas with Amazon you get this, you know. So I think that'll probably do it. We've just gone over an hour. I feel like I've said everything that I need to say. But yeah, thank you for everyone that's jumped in the comments. We've got, as I say, like Durthang and Lord Oakenshield. Great to have you guys back, and hopefully it'll be great to see you guys tuning in as well when we come to do the weekly reviews for this. Because yeah, that's the one weird thing that I've missed about Rings of Power is the communication that we had through these videos. And as I said, it almost felt like it was therapy, and we had some good laughs along the way. We despaired along the way as to what we were actually seeing, and we had some good laughs as well. And it's always an absolute pleasure talking anything Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth or Tolkien related with all of you guys. So yeah, it'll be good to, because that's kind of what started the channel, as I say. So it would be good to get back and do some more consistent Middle Earth related material. And as I said, hopefully later this week I should have a collaboration video with everything in Middle Earth. Check my community page on here. I do have a Twitter account, but honestly I'm barely ever on there. I can't remember the last time I updated it. So if you've just discovered me and you want to watch more of my videos, please do that. Obviously there's the subscribe button and everything like that, but I tend to post all of my updates on the community page on my YouTube channel. So check back for details about that. I think I'm going to be live again tomorrow, actually. You can't get rid of me. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, I'm going to be... Oh, God. Keep dropping the microphone. Ever the professional, as always. Yeah, so tomorrow, it looks like they've got this cool 40th anniversary of the original Transformers cartoon. Yeah, Transformers 40th anniversary event. It finishes around 10 o'clock kind of time, so I might be able to do a quick review at like 11:30 or something like that. Basically, they're screening the original 4 episodes of Season 1 of the Generation 1 cartoon, and then they've got a bit of a table read with Peter Cullen and Frank Welker, so the original voices of Megatron and the original voices of Optimus and Megatron, sorry. So that should be cool. I love me some original G1 Transformers, and it'll always be great to see those guys at work, and amazing voice actors that they are. So if you guys are fussed, maybe I can do a review on that, the 40th anniversary, and let you know my thoughts on that too. It'd be nice to talk about Transformers, something a bit different. But yeah, until then, I will be back with more reviews. There's, yeah, as I say, the Transformers review tomorrow. There'll be Disney reviews resuming again next week, every Monday. Stuff is happening on the channel, and there's some big movies that I still need to get to. I still need to see the new Planet of the Apes movie, so when I actually get time and I get to the cinema to see it, I will have reviews on that as well. So yeah, I jump on when I can, guys. But yeah, hopefully you all have a good evening, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.